From the outside, you look like you have it all together. You meet your deadlines, you show up on time, you smile in meetings, people call you reliable, responsible, high-achieving. But inside, it's chaos. Your mind is running 100 different scenarios of everything that could go wrong. You're exhausted from maintaining the facade. You check your work obsessively. You overthink every interaction. And the worst part? Nobody knows, because you've gotten so good at hiding it. This is high-functioning anxiety, and it's destroying you in ways people can't see. High-functioning anxiety isn't an official diagnosis. You won't find it in the DSM-5, but millions of people live with it every day. It's anxiety that doesn't stop you from functioning, it drives you to overfunction. You're not paralyzed by fear, you're propelled by it. The anxiety doesn't keep you in bed, it keeps you working at 11 p.m., checking your email at midnight, rehearsing conversations in your head at 3 a.m. Here's what makes it invisible. Anxiety usually looks like avoidance. People expect someone with anxiety to be withdrawn, hesitant, stuck. But high-functioning anxiety looks like success. It looks like ambition. It looks like someone who has their life together. So nobody checks on you. Nobody asks if you're okay, because clearly you're doing fine. If you have high-functioning anxiety, you're probably a perfectionist, not because you love excellence, because you're terrified of failure. Every task becomes high stakes. Every email needs to be perfect. Every conversation needs to go exactly right. You don't strive for perfection because you want to. You do it because anything less than perfect feels like catastrophe. This is why you edit emails 10 times before sending, why you arrive everywhere 20 minutes early, why you prepare obsessively for things that don't require preparation. You're not detail-oriented because it's your personality. You're detail-oriented because your anxiety convinces you that one mistake will unravel everything. High-functioning anxiety often gets mistaken for ambition. You take on extra projects. You volunteer for responsibilities. You say yes when you should say no. People think you're driven. They think you love being busy. But the truth? You're terrified of being seen as lazy, incompetent, or disappointing. Your achievements aren't coming from passion, they're coming from fear. This is the cruel trick of high-functioning anxiety. Your anxiety makes you successful, which makes people praise you, which reinforces the behavior, which makes the anxiety worse. You become trapped in a cycle where your coping mechanism, overworking, overpreparing, overperforming, is rewarded by everyone around you. Your brain never stops. Even when you're watching TV, part of your mind is reviewing tomorrow's schedule, replaying today's conversations, planning for contingencies that will never happen. Even when you're with friends, you're monitoring yourself. Did I say the right thing? Did that come across wrong? Are they annoyed with me? This is why you're always tired. Not physically, mentally. Your brain is running a marathon 24/7. Most people use downtime to recharge. You use downtime to worry about whether you're using your downtime correctly. Even rest becomes another thing to optimize, another thing to feel anxious about. High-functioning anxiety and people-pleasing are best friends. You need people to think well of you because if they don't, your anxiety spirals. So you become whatever people need you to be. You agree when you want to say no, you accommodate when you want boundaries, you apologize when you've done nothing wrong, not because you're weak, because managing other people's opinions of you feels like survival. The problem is this becomes exhausting. You're not living your life, you're managing everyone else's perception of you. And when you inevitably can't please everyone, your anxiety tells you you failed. You haven't failed. You've just tried to do something impossible. High-functioning anxiety doesn't just live in your head, it lives in your body. Tension headaches, jaw clenching, stomach issues, muscle tightness, insomnia. You've probably been to doctors who can't find anything wrong. That's because nothing is medically wrong. Your body is just holding all the stress your mind won't acknowledge. Your body is trying to tell you something, but you've learned to ignore it. You push through the headaches, you drink more coffee to fight the fatigue, you tell yourself it's normal to wake up with your jaw sore from grinding your teeth all night. It's not normal. It's your body waving a red flag that you're too anxious to see. The reason high-functioning anxiety is invisible isn't just because you hide it, it's because you don't recognize it yourself. You think everyone feels this way. You think everyone rehearses conversations in their head for hours. You think everyone triple checks their work. You think everyone lies awake catastrophizing about unlikely scenarios. When anxiety is your baseline, you don't realize it's not everyone else's baseline too. Plus, your anxiety has convinced you that it's the reason you're successful. If you relax, you'll fail. If you stop worrying, something bad will happen. Your anxiety has made itself seem necessary for survival, so you hold on to it, even though it's killing you slowly. One of the hallmarks of high-functioning anxiety is overthinking everything. Someone says, "We need to talk," and your brain immediately writes a disaster screenplay. You send a text and they don't respond for an hour, your brain generates 50 explanations, none of them good. You replay conversations from 3 years ago, analyzing what you should have said differently. This isn't careful thinking. This is your brain trying to control the uncontrollable by imagining every possible outcome. The logic goes, if I think of every bad thing that could happen, I can prevent it. But you can't. All you're doing is torturing yourself with hypotheticals while real life passes you by. Here's something nobody tells you about high-functioning anxiety. You can be incredibly productive and completely burnt out at the same time. Your to-do list is always done, your inbox is at 0, your projects are finished early, but you feel empty, depleted, like you're running on fumes because you are. You're achieving things, but you're not living. Productivity driven by anxiety isn't sustainable. Eventually, your body forces you to stop. Through illness, through breakdown, through sheer exhaustion. You can only outrun your nervous system for so long before it catches up. If you have high-functioning anxiety, you probably struggle with imposter syndrome. No matter how much you achieve, you feel like a fraud. Every success feels like luck. Every compliment feels undeserved. You're waiting for someone to figure out that you don't actually know what you're doing. This is your anxiety telling you that you're only successful because you're anxious. And if you stop being anxious, people will see the real you and be disappointed. The truth is the opposite. You're not successful because of your anxiety. You're successful despite it. Your anxiety isn't what makes you good at your job. Your skills, your intelligence, your effort. Those are real. The anxiety is just the voice telling you they're not. Healing from high-functioning anxiety starts with recognizing it. Stop calling it just being thorough or caring about quality. Call it what it is, anxiety. You don't have to fix it all at once, but you do have to acknowledge it exists. Second, stop rewarding the behavior. Every time you work late to ease your anxiety, you teach your brain that anxiety gets results. Start practicing doing good enough instead of perfect. Your anxiety will scream. Let it scream. Third, get comfortable with other people's disappointment. You can't control what people think of you. The more you try, the more anxious you become. Practice saying no. Practice setting boundaries. Practice letting things be imperfect. It will feel like the world is ending. It's not. That's just your anxiety. High-functioning anxiety is exhausting because you're fighting two battles. You're trying to succeed in the world while also managing a constant internal crisis that nobody sees. People look at your achievements and think you're fine. But you're not fine. You're surviving. And there's a difference. The good news is you don't have to keep living this way. Anxiety doesn't have to be the engine that drives your life. You can be successful without being anxious. You can be responsible without being terrified. You can be reliable without being exhausted. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. Millions of people are fighting the same invisible battle. Subscribe to the Cognitive Blueprints for more psychology content that makes sense of why you feel the way you do. And remember, asking for help isn't weakness. It's the bravest thing you can do.